What is up, guys, and welcome back to the DocMack car channel. Today what I'm going to show you is how to check under the hood of a Toyota Camry V6, which is a 3.5 liter. This will be effective from the year 2012 all the way through to the current model year. Now this is the 2GR-FE engine, which is a 3.5 liter engine with 204 kilowatts of power. Now consider subscribing if you haven't already. I have a lot of car how-to DIY videos. So without further ado, let me get into it. Alright guys, so the first thing is you guys may notice that the face of the vehicle does look slightly different. So if we step back a bit, you'll see that the face is slightly differed to the normal V6 that you get in the US. However, it's the same engine and it's basically the same vehicle, because if you look at it from the side, the vehicle is exactly the same. It's got the same kind of fenders, same doors. Now, I just wanted to clear that one up before we get started. Now, we're going to open up the bonnet. This outputs 204 kilowatts and it's got 274 horsepower, 336 Newton meters and 240 pound-feet of torque. So now, let me get into what you need to check under the hood. So the first thing is you'll need to check the engine oil. So this is the engine oil dipstick. So now when you check the engine oil, the engine should either be cold or either you have run the engine warm for a while. You need to wait for approximately 15 minutes for all the engine oil to go back down to the sump. Now as you can see, the engine oil is not too bad. Now this is full synthetic engine oil which I'm using. And you've got your minimum line right there and your maximum line right where my fingernail is. So now if you put it back in there again, leave it in until it's back clicked in, and then take it out and just put it straight so you can see that it's on the maximum line. So that's pretty good. Now you want to use a lint-free towel or a cloth. You don't want to get any debris back into the dipstick hole, and you want to make sure that that clicks down properly. Now this is your brake fluid reservoir, and this is how you check it. So you just need to pull the rubber cap backwards like so, and you can see inside. If we just go a bit more inside there, you can see that the color is like a very pale honey color. That means the brake fluid is very good. Now if you notice it start to turn brown, dark brown or black, then you do need to get it changed. And you just need to just press it back down until you hear a click. When you're actually putting the cap back on here, you want to be holding the base of the brake master cylinder, and then you're going to be pressing the cover back. This is so that you don't crack the plastic right here. So that part is done. Now it is very important that this is a right-hand drive vehicle, so you're going to step back a bit. Now for those of you in the US or those of you who drive left-hand drive vehicles, this particular one will be somewhere around here. Now the brake fluid master pump will always be closest to the driver, so that is where you can actually check how close it's going to be. Now this is your coolant expansion tank. Now if you come over this side and we look at it here, you've got your minimum and your maximum lines, so you can check that. When your car is warm, it's going to go a little bit further up, but you can check it when it's cold, and you can see towards the full line, and that's the minimum line where my fingernail is. I'm just going to grab the camera for a moment. That's the minimum and that's the full. And this is the actual radiator itself, and you always want to check this when the engine is cold. And what you can do is you can just turn the cap and you can pull the cap back. As you can see, it's nice pink fluid, so you're all good there. And then you want to turn it until you feel a click. Perfect. If you guys notice, there's no power steering fluid reservoir in this vehicle. That's because this vehicle does not have a hydraulic power steering. It's an electronic power steering, so you will not have any sort of reservoirs for the power steering right here. Also, the transmission on these ones actually sealed, so normally you'll have a dipstick right somewhere down here because the transmission is on that side of the vehicle. Now you don't have a transmission dipstick as well on vehicles like this. Alright guys, if you'd like to check the voltage on your battery and cold cranking amps and how you have to fit the battery in this type of vehicle, then I'll put a card up on my video on the right hand side and also a link in the description below. Now the other thing is, this is your air intake, this is your bonnet scoop. It goes in all the way here and into your air filter box right here. So if we pull this air filter box back, there's two little grooves here, like so. We can actually pull it back and that exposes your engine air filter right here. I've got a specific video as to how you can replace this engine air filter, so I will also link that down in the description below. Alright, and you just need to clip it back. This is your air intake system, and that is your throttle body. This little silver one, throttle body, and then that goes into the intake manifold right here. And then your exhaust manifold is right down here. This is your windscreen washer fluid reservoir. So this one is relatively self-explanatory. Just need to fill it up with the proper washer fluid. This is your ABS module and ABS pump. This is your engine mount. Now on this vehicle, the Serpentine Belt will be around here, right down the base here. So you'll need to also find out when you start the vehicle whether you're going to hear any squeals from the pulley or either the belt is actually going. I don't have, I'll just turn on my torch. There you go guys, you can see it a bit better now. Yeah, as you can see, the Serpentine Belt is there, and this is your fuse box. This is on this side of the vehicle. Now for those of you in the US, possibly it might be on the other side, but same sort of technique goes. You need to push this clip in, and you need to push this clip in there. These are the two clips, one here and one right here. Alright guys, so these are the fuses. As you can see, you got different amps, and these are the relays. So you need to make sure that if you've got any issues with the car, probably electrical, you might want to check here. And the other thing as well is you do have another fuse box under the passenger side of the vehicle. So we're going to fit that back now. So guys, the other thing you might want to know as well is if you're going to replace the spark plugs, then this is your engine cover, like so. Okay, and if we go back a bit, that's your intake manifold right there, and these are the front side of your spark plugs. The other three spark plugs are behind the manifold, so you've got to take the manifold out, and it's right down the base there. So I thought I'd share this with you guys as well. Alright guys, now I'm going to start the engine, and the Serpentine Belt will be down here. Alright guys, as you can see a bit better right down there. That is where your Serpentine Belt is. You can see the Serpentine Belt was straight and it wasn't going left and right. If the Serpentine Belt is going left and right, then it means that one of the pulleys could be the issue. That is what's causing the belt to go left and right. This can cause the belt to squeak as well, or squeal for a choice of a better word. So that's how you can check either the Serpentine Belt being the fault or one of the pulleys. Now it could also be the water pump pulley sometimes, and that can leak coolant as well. These are where the engine beauty cover actually sits. So you'll see there are two 2 peg holes on the back of the cover, and there's another one right here. So they go in this way, so you can see one right here, one right here, and one right there. So when you're aligning it back, the point of reference is the engine oil filler cap, and then once you get the peg correctly in place, yeah, there you go. So they're now in place, and you give it a little tug. Perfect. See, it doesn't actually come off. Alright guys, I hope this video has been useful and informative. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up.